the third initiative?
The third is agriculture. If you go to a village today, 90% of the young people, they simply don't want to stay in the village. Even those who stay in the village, they do it out of duress, not because of love. Very rarely, you probably can count on the fingers of your hand in each district the young men and women who would voluntarily like to stay back in their villages because they believe their ambitions are fulfilled there.
Yes.
99.9% want to run away. Agriculture is in disarray. The answer does not lie in freebies or free power. It does not lie in loan waiver. It is a load of rubbish. What we require is enhancing the capacity of agriculture to create wealth, improving incomes, and making technology accessible. There are three major changes that Lok Satta is going to introduce in agriculture. There will be at least 10,000 agri-clinics. One agri-clinic for every 2,000 or 3,000 acres of agricultural land, which will provide inputs, knowledge about the other crops being raised by other farmers so that you can make an informed choice, informed decision about which crop to raise. You can make an assessment of what is the likely yield and what is the likely benefit to you, market price, etc. Then input supply, whether fertilizer or pesticide or seeds, quality inputs at an acceptable price through collective bargaining, through computerized transactions so that you're not cheated. Very often, seeds and pesticides in particular, there is cheating. And fertilizer this year, the farmers went through enormous stress in many parts of the state because distribution was awful. Therefore, you can change all that by making this the distribution center for the farmers to buy collectively. There will be a regular system of testing the soil sample testings in each village so that people know what micronutrients should be applied. Right now, what's happening is blind application of fertilizers. And even if you apply lots of fertilizers, one micronutrient, let's say molybdenum is missing, or iron is missing, or zinc is missing, all the rest of the money goes waste. Because what is required for the plant, just like a human being, is full and wholesome nutrition. We don't have any knowledge whatsoever. So create that kind of capability through these agri-clinics in each village, or one for every 2 villages or so. Then you make this also a technology center so that if there's a problem today, I can go and approach them. Within 24 hours, I get a response through internet. These are all web-enabled and internet connected. Therefore, all the technology inputs will come to them within 24 hours by internet. And I know the solution. In a rare case where something requires actually a field visit of a technically competent person, they can be always contacted, they will do that. But otherwise, for most things, technology will enable you the solutions. And then marketing. Once I produce something, a large number of retail outlets are now coming up, which is a good development for the country. Now, this agri-clinic will be the conduit between the farmers, the producers, and the outlets, the marketing agencies. The beauty of the retail markets is they're properly deployed, they're properly harnessed. It can compress the market chain and therefore remove the intermediation. And the agri-clinic can actually directly become the procuring agency and also guiding agency for the farmers, particularly in respect of the perishable commodities, so that they get a decent value. They also produce something of decent quality, which meets the standards of the market requirement. They become the conduit to take a ton or 2 tons instead of 10 or 20 kgs to the neighborhood town, to the retail chain. And the farmers will get about 70 to 80% of the retail price as the producer's price. Right now, they get about 10 to 20% of the market price, which is a disgrace. So all these will be facilitated by one simple intervention, good technology intervention, but not a very costly intervention, namely 10,000 agri-clinics. The second big thing that we'll do is, you create a mechanism in the agri-credit sector, agricultural and rural credit sector, to ensure that practically every farmer who has ownership of land has access to credit. Agricultural credit conceptually is very easy because you have security. Land is a security. You have an asset. You're producing a crop. The farmer cannot run away anywhere with this crop. Therefore, the 71,000 crores that were spent by the government of India on loan waiver should have actually gone and strengthened the agricultural credit system to ensure that every farmer gets credit as an entitlement. Very much like private entrepreneurs who get credit as a working capital, which is practically their entitlement. The credit limit is already fixed. They can go and draw it within that limit anytime they like. That facility should be available to the farmers. This requires also the support and intervention of Government of India but the state can and must do a great deal at the state level. We propose to put in a corpus, propose to strengthen the credit cooperatives, which are largely state-driven, and we propose to work with the commercial banks and the union government to make sure that practically every farmer who deserves and desires credit has access to credit. It's for him to decide whether or not to take credit, but the entitlement exists.
Okay.
The third big change is transforming the way the markets function. Every year, hundreds of crores are farmers by way of market sales. And yet farmers go like beggars to the market yard and they have no control over the market there or what happens there. The market is entirely controlled by the MLA's cronies.
Yes.
The farmers don't even have a democratic right to manage their own agencies. So what Lok Satta proposes is create farmer-driven markets. That means they'll be controlled by the farmers, owned by the farmers. They'll be elected by the farmers, therefore accountable to the farmers. And create a system of storage in each of these market yards so that all the perishable commodities, they have proper cold storage when required. If necessary, also irradiation treatment so the shelf life can be prolonged. And imperishable commodities, non-perishable commodities, there's no problem of cold storage. You simply have to provide some basic storage and with some treatment if necessary, like mirch and other crops. Therefore, have the storage and create a pledge loan facility so that the farmer has the staying powers, can wait for the market to give better price. And the third element in the markets is create agro-processing industries. So there is value addition for agricultural crops, particularly the perishable commodities. The market itself owns the agro-industry. If in the open market they are able to sell at no more than 3 or 2 rupees per kilogram a perishable commodity, let's say fruit or vegetable, the processing unit will buy at 5 rupees a kilogram, will convert it into higher value products, will sell with the same brand name all over the state of Andhra Pradesh or across the country. If there's a loss in that particular marketing agency, that can be replenished by either a government subsidy or the market cess that is accumulated with these markets. And that is the best way to support the farmer. And the farmer will be guaranteed a 5 rupee minimum per kilogram price. For the price is higher in the market, he can sell in the market. If the price is lower, he can sell to the agro-processing industry. And the farmer's children will be trained and employed in these agro-processing industries. So it is going up the value chain.